Welcome to the deep dive. It's always interesting keeping an eye on aviation. Things change so fast.
We really do.
And today we've got a couple of pretty noteworthy developments that caught our eye, both coming via Asian aviation.
Mm-hmm.
First, Emirates looks like they're stepping up their passenger experience game again.
Mm-hmm.
And then switching focus a bit, Saudi Arabia is making a really significant move in the business aviation sector.
That's right. We're looking at some info on Emirates adding these retrofitted A380 routes. That was from mid-April 25.
Okay.
And also an earlier piece from February 25 about JC opening up the Saudi domestic BizAv market. So two different angles on industry strategy.
Exactly. So for this deep dive, our plan is to, really dig into what these changes actually mean.
Yeah, the nuts and bolts.
Right. What's changing on the ground or, well, in the air? What are the implications for travelers, for the industry, and what makes these moves stand out right now?
Sounds good.
So let's start with Emirates, those big A380s. They're getting a makeover.
Yeah, they are indeed. The headline news is they're rolling out their latest retrofitted A380s, the ones with the new premium economy cabins, onto some key routes.
Okay, which ones?
Starting June 6th, it's the Dubai-Manchester route, flights EK0016 and 018.
Manchester, right.
And then hot on its heels, from July 1st, the Dubai-Milan route gets them too, specifically EK091 and 092.
Manchester and Milan. Interesting. For the UK listeners, this feels like, well, it's not the first step, is it? Emirates seems quite focused on the UK.
Oh, absolutely. You've nailed it. Manchester joining the list is part of a much bigger picture for their premium economy push in the UK.
Right.
Remember, they already have 4 daily A380s with the new cabins flying into Heathrow.
So day, wow.
Plus the A350 they've put on the Edinburgh route, and they're also bringing a refurbished Boeing 777 with premium economy, presumably, onto the London Stansted route from May.
So they're really blanketing the UK with this option.
Pretty much. Add it all up, and starting in June, they're looking at nearly 5,000 premium economy seats going in and out of the UK every single week.
Yes.
That's a serious amount of capacity.
5,000 a week. That's a strong signal about where they see demand. And Milan, being the second Italian city after Bologna gets the A350, suggests a similar pattern, maybe.
It does seem like they see potential in the Italian market for this upgraded product as well, yeah.
Why do you think we're seeing such a big push for premium economy right now from Emirates and others?
Well, it's a good question. I think airlines are realizing there's this growing slice of the market, people who want something, a bit better than standard economy.
Right, more comfort.
Exactly, more comfort, better amenities, but maybe they're not quite prepared to shell out for a full flatbed business class seat every time.
So price-conscious business folks or leisure travelers treating themselves.
Precisely. It hits that sweet spot. It makes good business sense to cater to that demand.
Makes total sense. So Manchester and Milan.
Mm-hmm.
Are these just one-offs or part of a global rollout?
Definitely part of the bigger picture. Adding these two brings the total number of destinations served by these retrofitted A380s up to 19 globally.
19 already. Wow.
Yeah, it really shows they're committed to this refurbishment program and investing in the customer experience across the board, more premium choices on more routes.
That's quite a network. And I think I saw something about connecting flights, too, if you fly from Manchester or Milan.
Ah, yes. That's a really key point, especially for long-haul flyers. By July, if you're on one of these upgraded A380s from Manchester or Milan connecting through Dubai, you can expect that same enhanced cabin experience on the onward leg to major destinations across Asia and Australasia. They mentioned Sydney, Singapore, Osaka, Mumbai, Bangalore specifically.
So consistency, that's huge on a long trip.
Absolutely. Knowing you'll have, say, the premium economy seat for the whole journey, not just the first leg, removes a lot of uncertainty. It really adds value.
Definitely takes the guesswork out of it. Okay, so for someone who hasn't flown it yet, what's this A380 premium economy actually like? Where is it? What do you get?
Right. So on these particular A380s, the 4-class ones, the premium economy cabin is right at the front of the main deck. Lower deck.
Okay.
It's got 56 seats laid out in a 242 configuration. The reports highlight generous seat pitch and width.
So more legroom, more space.
Significantly more compared to economy, yes. And things like in-seat charging points, which are basically essential now, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And little touches like a side cocktail table next to the seat.
A cocktail table, nice. Sounds comfortable. What about the service? Does it feel different?
It seems they've put thought into that too.
Yeah.
They mention curated menus, more extensive drink options, better amenities,
Okay.
and they even specifically call out offering an exclusive champagne in premium economy, a Chandon Vintage Brut 2016.
Wow. Okay. Vintage champagne. That definitely signals they're positioning it as a distinct step up.
It certainly does. It's not just a slightly bigger seat. It's meant to be a more refined experience overall.
So the big picture for Emirates, a major deliberate investment in upgrading the long-haul experience, especially with this big premium economy expansion.
Exactly that. They see the demand and they're deploying these upgraded jets strategically on busy, important routes.
Okay, fascinating stuff. Let's switch gears now. Across to Saudi Arabia and this news about their domestic business aviation market. Sounds quite significant.
It really is. The General Authority of Civil Aviation there, JCA, they've announced they're removing cabotage restrictions for foreign charter flights within the kingdom.
Okay, hold on. Cabotage, just remind us quickly what that means.
Sure. So cabotage rules generally stop an airline or operator from one country flying passengers or cargo between 2 points inside another country.
Right, like a U.S. airline flying domestic routes within France, for example. Usually not allowed.
Exactly. So Saudi Arabia lifting this specific restriction for on-demand business aviation charters is a pretty bold move. It's set to happen from May 1st, 2025.
Wow, okay. So a foreign business jet operator could soon fly clients between, say, Riyadh and Jeddah.
That's the idea. They'll need permission from JSIA based on specific requirements, but the fundamental ban is being lifted. The main goal here seems to be boosting the private jet market locally and positioning Saudi Arabia as a major hub for general aviation in the region.
Makes sense, especially with their wider economic goals,
Yeah.
Vision 2030 and all that.
Precisely. And to help make this happen, they've apparently set up a national committee, the General Aviation Sector Development Committee.
Okay, what's the committee's job?
It sounds like it's there to bring everyone together, international operators, domestic players, JCA itself, probably to work on things like infrastructure, smoothing out regulations, basically making Saudi Arabia an easier and more attractive place for business aviation to operate and grow, creating that supportive ecosystem.
Right, fostering collaboration. So what are the expected upsides of this open market policy?
Well, the reports suggest a few key benefits. Firstly, more competition, which you'd expect. That increased competition, they hope, will attract more foreign investment into the sector. And for the operators themselves, it just offers more flexibility. They can potentially serve routes they couldn't before.
So more dynamism, more investment, more options. Sounds positive. There was a quote included from someone in Jiraiya.
Yes, from Imtiaz Manzuri, JESA's general manager for general aviation. He basically said JESA is unlocking new opportunities for the global industry by removing these domestic restrictions.
Okay.
And he stressed that it's a key part of their roadmap to make Saudi Arabia a general aviation hub, alongside, and this is important, a huge infrastructure program. New private airports, new terminals across the kingdom.
Ah, the infrastructure piece. That's crucial, isn't it? They mentioned a specific roadmap launched last year.
They did. JESA's General Aviation Roadmap launched May 2024. And it's ambitious. They're aiming to grow the sector into a $2 billion industry by 2030.
$2 billion. Wow.
Yep. Supporting around 35,000 jobs in the process. And the plan includes building 6 completely new, dedicated business aviation airports.
6 new airports just for BizAv.
That's what it says. Plus 9 new dedicated business aviation terminals at existing airports. And boosting support services like FBOs and maintenance facilities, too.
That is a massive commitment.
Mm.
Really shows they're serious about this hub ambition. And interesting timing, too, because wasn't the sector already growing quite fast there?
It was, yeah. The figures for 2024 showed a record jump, 24% increase in overall business jet flights in Saudi Arabia, up to over 23,600.
24%.
And domestic flights within the kingdom were up even more, by 26%, while international flights grew a very healthy 15%. So there was already strong momentum.
That's really compelling context. It suggests the demand is definitely there, and this policy change could act like pouring fuel on the fire, attracting more international players and investment.
That seems to be exactly the strategy. Capitalize on the existing growth and really position Saudi Arabia as a key node in the global business aviation network.
Okay, so let's pull this together. 2 big stories today. On one hand, Emirates doubling down on passenger comfort, particularly that premium economy sweet spot, rolling out more upgraded planes, Good news for travelers looking for more options on long flights.
Definitely more choice, potentially better value on those ultra long haul routes. And then you have Saudi Arabia making this very strategic, potentially game-changing move to open its domestic skies to international business aviation operators.
Right, backed by a huge infrastructure investment plan. It signals a major push to become a regional, maybe even global, leader in that sector.
A significant shakeup for the Middle East business aviation scene for sure.
So for our listeners, if you fly long haul, especially connecting through Dubai to Asia or down under, keep an eye on that Emirates premium economy product.
Mm-hmm.
It might be a really appealing option now on more routes.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're in or follow the business aviation world, well, Saudi Arabia just became a market to watch very, very closely. Potentially big opportunities opening up there.
Absolutely. And it leaves us with some interesting things to think about, doesn't it? Like with this relentless rise of premium economy, what does that ultimately mean for traditional business class?
Yeah, will it squeeze demand or pricing there?
Could do. Or maybe redefine it. And on the other side, as Saudi Arabia throws open its doors and builds all this new capacity for private jets, what are the real opportunities, but also maybe the challenges for operators trying to navigate that fast-changing landscape?
Good questions. Definitely things to keep an eye on as the aviation world keeps evolving. Food for thought, indeed.